Hello, check 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello.
my esteemed colleagues on the bench, Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General for the State of Maharashtra, Mr. V.B. Konde Deshmukh, Member Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Mr. Nitin Thakkar, President Bombay Bar Association, Mr. Suresh Sabrat, Secretary Advocates Association of Western India, Mrs. Farzana Behram Kamdin, President Bombay Incorporated Law Society, learned senior advocates, members of the bar, bereaved members of the Chagla family, members of the registry, and the staff, ladies and gentlemen. We have assembled here to pay tribute to late Mr. Iqbal M. Chagla, senior advocate, who left us on 12th of January 25. Late Mr. Iqbal Chagla was born on 7th of March 1939 in Mumbai. He completed his school education from St. Mary's School in Mumbai and obtained master's degree in history and law at King's College, University of Cambridge. Late Mr. Chagla initially leaned towards the literature, but life had other plans for him. Sudden loss of his mother brought him to India. On return, he decided to practice law. He was required to pass qualifying examination and became the first barrister to have qualified the examination in India. In 1963, he joined the chambers of great K.H. Bhabha and started practice alongside legal legends like Fali Nariman and Soli Sorabji. Very soon, the legal acumen of late Mr. Chagla was recognized and he prospered in the profession. Late Mr. Chagla's brilliance in the courtroom and fearless advocacy for civil liberties made him a renowned figure in the field of law. He was known for his integrity and ethical practice. I am told that he would return the brief if he found that his client acted unfairly. Late Mr. Chagla was a highly sought after counsel for corporate houses. He was always surrounded by juniors and law interns. The members of the bar used to listen to his arguments with rapt attention. He was a relentless crusader against corruption and stood firmly for transparency and accountability in public life. Late Mr. Chagla was impeccably dressed and was articulate in his speech. He demonstrated the highest ideals of the legal profession. He appeared in high profile cases including split of Amarchand Mangaldas, Coca-Cola and Pepsi in their fierce advertising battle. He also represented Nestle against Maggi noodles ban and represented Birla and Wadia families as well as the Tata Group. Late Mr. Chagla practiced as an advocate for long 61 years. He served as president of Bombay Bar Association and participated in numerous legal conferences and seminars. He was awarded honorary doctorate in law by Behrampur University and served as a trustee for Chief Justice Chagla Memorial Trust and Mehli Mehta Music Foundation. Late Mr. Chagla, in addition to his love for law, had a passion for literature, music, photography, food, and golf. His humility, grace, and commitment to justice left a lasting impression on all those who knew him. His life serves as a true inspiration to the members of the legal fraternity. Even though he is no longer with us, late Mr. Chagla will always be remembered for extraordinary ethical standards he set at the bar. He will be missed by the judges and the lawyers alike. With demise of Mr. Chagla, we have lost a great lawyer and a great human being. Late Mr. Chagla is survived by his wife Roshan, his son Justice Riaz Chagla, an eminent judge of this court, and his daughter Rohika Chagla. On behalf of my sister and brother judges and my own behalf, I extend our heartfelt condolences to members of the bereaved family. May the Almighty give them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. I pray the Almighty to bestow peace to the departed soul.
My Lord the Chief Justice, the learned judges of this honorable court, my co-speakers, Justice Riaz Chagla and the other family members of late Iqbal Chagla, the members of the registry, learned senior advocates, and my fellow members of the bar. We assemble today to pay homage to Mr. Iqbal Chagla, a legendary lawyer and a luminary whose unwavering principles, dedication to fairness, and sheer legal brilliance have been instrumental in the development of this court as a robust, strong, and independent institution for delivery of justice. My lords, they are legends whose personalities and contributions are so towering that it is difficult to encapsulate them in words. I'm encountering the same difficulty today. I consider myself absolutely fortunate that I not just belong to a generation that saw him weave his magic in court, but that I also had the privilege of working closely with him in matters. As a law student, I was interning in a law firm for whom Mr. Chagla was the go to counsel. Soon after I joined, I attended a conference with Mr. Chagla. I was awestruck from the moment I entered his conference room. There was this towering and charismatic personality, both in height and stature, who was an epitome of grace. I think I focused less on what was discussed on law and more on his personality. He spoke in a baritone voice and put everyone at ease. My lord, my situation as a law student who had just come from Guwahati was similar to that of a student of classical English classical music having seen Mozart, or maybe closer, an aspiring Bollywood actor having seen Amitabh Bachchan. The next day, his performance was even more mesmerizing in court. He was style, grace, and elegance personified, his oratory spellbinding, and his arguments absolutely smooth and flawless. I was enthralled. Speaking of Nani Palkiwala, Mr. Chagla once said that his advocacy was such that it made a person listening believe that there is no other point of view. I felt the same when Mr. Chagla argued. But later, when I worked with him in matters, I came to realize that behind his seamless arguments in court were hours of long preparation when he patiently heard even the junior most person. In one of his interviews, he said that he was never absolutely satisfied in any matter. No amount of research was ever complete, and there was always a desire to do more, a feeling that he was not quite ready with the matter. That is the hallmark of a great lawyer, which he was. His advocacy was based on the principle that you are first an officer of the court and then a lawyer of your client. He loved the law, but that was not his only passion. He was a person with varied interests, including literature, poetry, history, sports, and in particular cricket and golf. And he appreciated all finer things in life. With such a well rounded personality, he brought his experience of life into his arguments. Though he was gentle and soft spoken, when an occasion arose, he rose fearlessly and fiercely, particularly when it involved civil liberties, freedom of speech, and most importantly, the integrity of this institution. It is well known that under his leadership as the president, the Bombay Bar passed resolutions questioning the integrity of certain judges, and as a result, remedial measures were taken and things were set right. When he was warned by some friends that he may face proceedings for contempt, he said, when posterity asked the question that when your judiciary was going down, did you just sit back and earn your fees and did nothing at all? What would be my answer then? He was, in fact, the first person to file a petition which led to the judgment in the first judge's transfer case, or what is popularly known as the SP Gupta judgment. He took up various causes relating to freedom of speech and civil liberty, even during times of emergency. While he appeared in various public interest petitions, he evaluated the cause and assessed whether it was actually doing good to the public. Mr. Chagla has left an indelible mark on the legal landscape. He has left footprints which the waves of time cannot erase. As a role model, he has inspired a few generations of lawyers who today practice in this court, and his impact will continue to resonate for generations to come. We will miss him, but his legacy will forever continue to guide and inspire us and will illuminate the path of future generation of lawyers towards practice of law with dedication, principles, and ethics. On behalf of the state of Maharashtra and the entire body of lawyers, I convey my heartfelt condolences to Mrs. Roshan Chagla, Mr. Justice Riyaz Chagla, his daughter Rohika, and the entire family. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
My Lord Honorable Chief Justice and other honorable judges of this court, Dr. Birendra Saraf, Honorable Advocate General, State of Maharashtra, Mr. Suresh Sabrat, Honorable Secretary, Advocate Association of Western India, Mr. Nitin Thakkar, Honorable President, Bombay Bar Association, Mrs. Farzana Behram Kamdin, Honorable President of Bombay Incorporated Law Society, family members of late Senior Advocate Mr. Iqbal Chagla, and my colleagues at the bar, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We have assembled here this morning to pay tribute to late Shri Iqbal Chagla, Senior Advocate, who left for his heavenly abode on 12th January 2025 at the age of 86 years at Mumbai. Mr. Iqbal Chagla was born in 1939. He was the son of former Honorable Justice Mr. M.C. Chagla, who was the first Indian Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. Shri Iqbal Chagla obtained degree of MA in his history and law from Cambridge University. He was then called to the bar from Gray's Inn and returned to Bombay, where began his practice in law. He refused all inducement to move to Delhi. He preferred to be a leading member of the Bombay Bar. He was designated a senior advocate at the relatively young age of 39. He served as the president of the Bombay Bar Association for 3 consecutive terms. He also served as a member of the Executive Committee of the Bar Association of India and a member of the National Legal Services Authority, Delhi. Late Sri Iqbal Chagla was offered judgeship of the Supreme Court directly from the bar, which is a rare honor. For his personal reason, he had to decline the honor. Had he accepted this offer, would have been the Chief Justice of India. He had attended and participated in various law conferences and was being invited to speak at various seminars. He appeared in international arbitration and has advised on proceeding in foreign courts. He was a trustee of the Chief Justice Chagla Memorial Trust, the H.M. Sirvai Memorial Trust, and the Mahali Mehta Music Foundation. In 2012, Chagla was conferred an honorary degree of Doctor of Law by Behrampur University, Odisha, for attaining eminence in public affairs. He was not only a tall legal luminary, but devoted humanist, whose contribution to uphold the rule of law will be echoed in the corridor of this court for a long time to come. In his death, we have lost a jurist par excellence, a lawyer with human heart, and a great human being. In this hour of grief, I share my heartfelt condolence with Sri Iqbal Chagla's family on behalf of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. I sincerely convey my deep condolence to his wife and son, Honorable Justice Mr. Riyaz Chagla, sitting judge of this honorable court, and entire Chagla's family. I am sure the memories of Mr. Iqbal Chagla shall show us a path for better civilized society. May his soul rest in peace.
Honorable the Chief Justice and the other honorable judges of this honorable court, the learned Advocate General of Maharashtra, my co-speakers, Mrs. Roshan Chagla, Rohika Chagla, and Justice Riyaz Chagla, family members of Mr. Iqbal Chagla, senior advocates and other advocates, members of registry, ladies and gentlemen. We have assembled today to recognize and pay our respects and tribute to and celebrate life of one of the doyens of bar, a leading lawyer, a lover of music and sports, a great family man, a leader of the bar, our former president, and above all, a great human being, Iqbal Chagla, who we fondly called Mickey. It is impossible to do justice to Mr. Chagla's accomplishments in few minutes. I started understanding who Mr. Chagla was during the times when there was emergency. He actively took part in drafting resolution which was moved in association to condemn emergency. He was also in forefront when a writ was moved before the court of Chief Justice Kantawala and Justice Tuljapurkar for quashing order of police commissioner refusing to grant permission to hold a public meeting at Sundarabai Hall, which was to be addressed by, among others, Chief Justices J.C. Shah and M.C. Chagla. From those days, I was in his awe. Respect and admiration for him grew every time I saw him and heard him in court arguing matters. There was hardly any important matter in High Court where Mr. Chagla was not briefed. He believed in what Mahatma Gandhi said, there is higher court than courts of justice, and that is the court of conscience. It supersedes all other courts. What he believed, he would put in practice. He would always ask his conscience whether he was doing right thing by representing a client. If the client was not truthful to him, he would say, I will not represent him. He would always say that law is not a business, but law is profession. There is difference between profession and business. Just like doctor is expected to become a doctor to serve the society, the lawyer must similarly remember that he is officer of the court first and he is not merely a mouthpiece of his client. Money is a byproduct of the profession and money is not the important consideration for appearing in court. He always took pride in lauding Bombay High Court as he considered himself a product of this court, though he was a barrister. He wrote in the book published by the High Court when this building completed 125 years, and I quote, the true worth of a court must be judged, in my view, not by its record of cases, commercial or testamentary, constitutional or corporate, but in uncharted sea of litigation in public interest. By this token, the record of Bombay High Court is exemplary, unquote. The reputation of Bombay High Court he jealously guarded. As a president of Bombay Bar Association from 1990 to 1999, his tenure was challenging. His courage, his desire to maintain purity in judiciary and upholding the highest standards set by judiciary to maintain its independence were evident when both associations independently decided to pass resolutions against some erring judges. The resolutions were opposed but were carried by majority. It could have led to contempt of court proceedings against the members. Justice Chittasosh Mukherjee, the then Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, asked, do you intend to do this again? When the reply was, good heavens, no, the Chief Justice said, then may I congratulate you. Our own inquiries revealed that all the concerned judges were guilty as charged. Mr. Chagla has narrated this in his article in the book Legacy of Law. He would always say that when the future questions what you did, when corruption was destroying our judiciary, can I be heard to say, I did nothing except continue to charge my fees and appear in court? Mr. Chagla believed that the relationship between the judge and counsel is at the heart of the court. Just as the judge trusts counsel, the counsel must also trust the judge. He must trust the judge's intention and judge's wisdom. Therefore, he would prepare meticulously for all the matters with great precision. In a matter, his junior in the court prepared 40-page note, which he reduced to mere 10 pages. When the matter was taken up and his opponents tendered a 50-page note, the court asked, does the note tendered by Mr. Chagla contains all material facts? No one disagreed. The court said, then I don't want 50-page note. I will go by the note given by Mr. Chagla. The court trusted Mr. Chagla and Mr. Chagla trusted the court. Mr. Chagla was go-to person for all juniors. I had lost a matter before a learned single judge where notices prior to the suit were not replied to by my client, and even affidavit in reply was not filed. But otherwise, my client had a good case to defend the case of an oral agreement set up by the other side. I requested attorney to consult and brief Mr. Chagla in appeal court. He was excellent in reading mind of the court, and therefore preparation in each matter would be as required by the court. Just before we entered the courtroom, he whispered in my ear that the court will tell us to settle the matter. As predicted, after brief argument, Justice Pense, who was presiding over the bench, suggested, Mr. Chagla, why don't you settle the matter? And by afternoon, the matter was settled. He was encouraging all juniors at the bar, and he would go out of his way to help them build their career in profession. Mr. Chagla's life was not limited to the courtroom. He was a trustee of Chief Justice Chagla Memorial Trust. The trust holds memorial lectures in memory of late Mr. M.C. Chagla. He was a passionate golfer, had keen interest in cricket. He was instrumental in establishing Chagla Cup for cricket for the winners of matches between honorable judges and the senior advocates. He was an avid photographer. I understand that he had ordered a latest Hasselblad camera, which was delivered a few days prior to his demise. He was a connoisseur of music and literature. He loved jazz music. He was foodie and would not miss a chance to eat pani puri at a roadside stall at Bengali market at Delhi whenever he was in Delhi. He was a man of many talents whose contributions extended far beyond the legal profession. His multifaceted personality enriched the lives of those who knew him, making him not just a great lawyer, but a remarkable human being. When he attended the condolence meeting of Mr. Fali Nariman last year, the manner in which the judges and lawyers greeted him is the barometer of his popularity, the love and respect which he commanded from one and all. Today, as we remember him, let us honor his memory by upholding the values he cherished: integrity, courage, and an unyielding commitment to justice. His life was a beacon of what it means to be not just a great lawyer, but a great human being. The Bombay High Court has lost a true luminary, but his principles, his dedication, and his towering legacy will continue to guide us. Let us carry forward his ideals, ensuring that his vision for justice and fairness lives on in every courtroom, every case, and every lawyer who walks these hallowed halls. Bombay Bar Association and myself join his family, Mrs. Roshan Chagla, Mrs. Rohika, his daughter, and Justice Chagla, his son, and other family members in celebrating his life. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Lastly, I will end with a quote of an American playwright which aptly applies to Mr. Chagla. And I quote, "Our legacy is really the lives we touch, the inspiration we give, altering someone's plan, if even for a moment, and getting them to think, cry, laugh, argue. More than anything, we are remembered for our smiles, the ones we share with our closest and dearest, and the ones we bestow on a total stranger who needed it right then, and God put you there to deliver." Unquote. Om Shanti.
Honorable the Chief Justice Shri Alok Aradhya sir, Honorable Judges of this Honorable Court, Honorable Advocate General Virendra Saraf, Shri Vittal Konde Deshmukh, Honorable Chairman of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Honorable President of Bombay Bar Association, Shri Nitin Thakkar sir, Honorable President of Incorporated Law Society, Farzana Bairam Kandir Madam, and Honorable Justice Riyaz Chagla sir, and other family members of respected Iqbal Chagla sir, respected senior advocates and members. We have assembled here to offer condolences to a great personality, late Shri Iqbal Chagla sir. Born on 7th March 1939, respected Chagla sir was the great son of a great father, Honorable Justice M.C. Chagla, the first permanent Indian Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court for a period of 1 decade, that is from 1948 to 1958. Chagla sir, after having completed Masters in History and Law from Cambridge University, returned to Bombay to practice in this Honorable Court. At an early age of 39, Chagla sir was designated as a senior advocate. Later on was called by the Honorable Chief Justice seeking his consent for being elevated as a judge of this Honorable Court, which he refused. Later on, offer of being elevated to the Honorable Supreme Court was also declined by him. Had Chagla sir accepted the said offer, would have been elevated to the position of the Chief Justice of India. Chagla sir, having refused both aforesaid offers, preferred to be a leading member of the bar. Chagla sir was a life member of association, which is one of the oldest advocates association. During the period from 1990 to 1999, Chagla sir completed 3 terms as president of the Bombay Bar Association. He also served as a member of the Executive Committee of the Bar Council of India and as a member of the National Legal Services Authority, Delhi. For nearly 6 decades, that is 60 years, Chagla sir was a prominent figure in civil litigation, company law, constitutional law, both national and international law. His profound legal rights, persuasive advocacy, and command over legal principle made him one of the most busiest counsel, not only of this court, but also in all courts of our country. Chagla sir attended and participated in various law conferences and was invited as a speaker to speak at various seminars. He appeared in various international arbitration and also gave his advice in several proceedings in foreign courts. He has given expert evidence on Indian law in the Southern District Court in New York. In the year 2012, Chagla sir was confirmed an honorary degree of Doctors of Laws by Bahrampur University of Odisha for attaining the eminence in public affairs. Chagla sir was a trustee of Chief Justice Chagla Memorial Trust, the H.M. Sirvai Memorial Trust, and the Mehli Mehta Musical Foundation. Chagla sir played golf with great passion, and photography was one of his favorite hobbies. Reading and love for music were his companions. Chagla sir, apart from leaving behind a great legacy, also left behind his wife, son Honorable Riaz Chagla, who is one of the most best judges of this honorable court, and kind-hearted daughter. The Advocates Association of Western India and all its members mourn the loss of sad demise of a great human being, a legal luminary, whose contribution will always be remembered by us and all generations to come. On behalf of the Advocates Association of Western India and all its members, we extend our deepest condolences to his bereaved family and loved ones. May his soul rest in peace. Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
The Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Judges of this Honorable Court, Justice Chagla, Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General, Mr. Vittal Konde Deshmukh, Member Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Mr. Nitin Thakkar, President Bombay Bar Association, Mr. Suresh Sabrat, Secretary Advocates Association of Western India, bereaved members of Mr. Iqbal Chagla's family, members of the registry and members of the bar. I associate myself with all that has been stated by the Honorable Chief Justice and my co-speakers with regard to Mr. Iqbal Chagla. We have gathered here today to pay homage to Mr. Chagla, who was more fondly known by all of us at the bar as Mickey. It is very difficult to encapsulate in words what Mr. Chagla was and what he represented to all of us and the legacy he leaves behind. Mr. Chagla, as we have heard from the earlier speakers, was educated in history and law from King's College, Cambridge. He returned to India and joined the chambers with the doyen of the Bombay Bar, Mr. Kharshedji Baba, and had amongst his colleagues Mr. Fali Nariman, Mr. Soli Sorabji, and various other luminaries. Mr. Chagla was conferred seniority at the early age of 39 years. Mr. Chagla was a towering personality, not only because he was extremely tall, but also in stature. His impressive presence, accompanied with his deep baritone voice, made him a force to reckon with and a pleasure to watch in action. But that was not all. Every matter that Mr. Chagla was briefed in was prepared with meticulousness both in his own reading and in conferences. I remember briefing him in matters where the solicitor, as also all juniors, were questioned on every aspect of the matter in great detail and information collated in a methodical manner. Once Mr. Chagla accepted a brief, he would always remain present in the matter, regardless of whether he was arguing the matter or waiting for his turn to do so. A solicitor would be able to rest easy knowing that Mr. Chagla would not leave the matter. Mr. Chagla was a highly sought-after counsel, briefed in several high-profile corporate litigations. He, however, always adhered to high ethical principles. Mr. Chagla appeared pro bono in various public interest litigations, but would do so only once he was satisfied that such litigation was in furtherance of a public cause. Once I'm told that he had been briefed by the petitioners who were challenging the construction of the Worli-Bandra sea link. However, he gave up the matter midway, as he came to the conclusion that the petition would not serve the larger public cause. Similarly, I have heard that he did not accept the brief of Nestle when Maggie was banned till he was personally satisfied then Maggie was not a product that affected the safety and health of children. Mr. Chagla was a master strategist, had a mastery of the facts and the law, the oratory skills and the skill of using the same to persuade judges to accept his point of view in the matter. He was always a gracious opponent and never lost his cool. He was the president of the Bombay Bar Association for a period of 9 successive years. Mr. Chagla always advocated against corruption in the judiciary, and during his presidency, the Bombay Bar Association passed resolutions against 6 judges, leading to the resignation of some. Despite Mr. Chagla being a leader of the bar and having achieved fabulous success at an early age, he always wore his greatness and his heritage lightly. I'm told that his chambers, namely number 1, which was in the annex building at that time, was an open chamber in the sense that all juniors were allowed to speak freely and express different viewpoints, even if such views were directly opposed to the views of Mr. Chagla himself. The fact that Mr. Chagla was a great senior is evident from the juniors that have come out of his chambers, including Senior Counsel Mr. Janak Dwarkada, Senior Counsel Mr. Darius Khambata, and many others. Despite the fact that Mr. Chagla was a heavily briefed counsel, he always maintained a work-life balance. He was a well-rounded personality, interested not only in the law, but also in photography, music, especially jazz, golf, good food, and a good life. His values are something which all of us must try and emulate in this fast-paced world of ours. Mr. Chagla leaves behind a void and will be missed by all of us at the bar, but his legacy will live on. On behalf of the Bombay Incorporated Law Society and myself, I extend my heartfelt condolences to Mrs. Roshan Chagla, his son, Justice Riaz Chagla, his daughter Rohika, and all the members of Mr. Chagla's family, and pray that his soul rests in eternal peace.
As a mark of respect to the departed soul, we shall now rise and observe silence for 1 minute. Judicial proceeding will commence as per the schedule.